because really it's all one. The latke and the oil, us, everything, right? It's all in the oneness. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Alan.
Please join me on this song. Let us bless all that binds us together and delight in the differences between us. May shalom flow, may God's words echo through our souls. Rejoice, rejoice in the oneness of all. Let us bless all that binds us together and delight in the differences between us. May shalom flow, may God's words echo through our souls. Rejoice, rejoice in the oneness of all. Let us bless all that binds us together and delight in the differences between us. May shalom flow, may God's words echo through our souls. Rejoice, rejoice in the oneness of all.
Beautiful. The oneness of it all, the light, the dark, it's all one. V'ahavta, and you shall love. You shall love was, is, will be your God with all your will, with all your aspirations of your spirit, and with all of your veriness. And all these words that I command you on this day shall be upon your heart, your soul. Teach them diligently to your children. Sing about them as long as you dwell in your body. As you walk on the road, when you relax, when you rise up, you shall bind them as a symbol of consent upon your hands, your power marking contentment within the spring of you. And you shall engrave them upon your doorposts and entrance gates. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Agit Tehilatecha. Adonai, open thy lips, that I may sing your praise. I bless you, Holy One, the God of my ancestors, the lineage that reaches back to our foremothers, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, and Rebekah, and our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You are the one to whom my grandparents and their parents and all the generation upon whose shoulders we stand. Sorry, this videos are blocking my view, sorry. On whose shoulders I stand. turn to for comfort and live their lives. To be a blessing to you, the majestic one, mighty and awesome one, the highest one. You reward us with kindness and mercy. You, the master of all, and the merit of my ancestors' acts of loving kindness, you remember them. You redeem us with love. Sovereign protector, helper who shields us, blessed are you, protector of our ancestors. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah. So I'm going to just close that shared screen, and let's just take a minute to have some silent prayer. And if you want to turn off your video, you can do that. And then Laura Berman will bring us out with Wings of Peace. so gorgeous. You know, this is the month of Tevet of Reb Aries' yard site. And I wasn't thinking about that, but when you sang that song, I felt his presence. I think he's quelling from on high. You did him good. So it's time for a healing prayer. And if you want to unmute and name someone for whom you're praying for healing, or you could just put their name in the chat. Please go ahead and do that now.
I'm praying for healing for my wife, Laurie.
For my mother, Marcia Crash.
Anybody else?
For my friends Adrian Hansler and Stan Drubin and Valentine Jones.
Okay. Laura. Amen, amen, amen. Now, Rabbi Yitz Greenberg posted this week a beautiful teaching about healing prayers. He's going through his own health struggle, and he said sometimes people lose faith when they pray for healing for someone and they don't get better. He said, actually really good to just pray that God be with us through that journey, whether it's for us or for someone we love. They shouldn't be alone and shouldn't feel alone in that journey towards healing. So it's now time to remember our ancestors who have passed, either in this month, in years gone by, or in this year. And so I'll read the names of those that our community is saying Kaddish for. Albert Sorgal, Deanna Jackman, Eric Isser, Estelle Abel, Florence Alper, Harold Rosenblum, Ione Cohn, Isidore Meyerson, my grandpa, Jennifer Cerusi, Joan Miller, Judith Bleicher, June Fountain, Milton Wagner, Aryeh Hirschfield, Rachel Ann Isser, Yair Micah Ben Mordechai, and those who passed away this year: Eleanor Harmon, Karen Lobeck, Rabbi David Cooper, Jolie Elan, Lauren Kordak, Yitzhak Buxbaum, John Darling, Karen Basin, Sharon Melnick, Rabbi Abraham Ranot, Daphne Fotan, Rui Sadan, Chaim Yitzhak Menashe Ben Yona V'Yakov, Margarita Turka, Michael Basin, Jay Horowitz, Lainey Abbott, Coleman Novak, Rona Barnes, Ira Bushinsky, Marcy Gaon, Diane DeJack, Chris Cotton, Khazan Richard Kaplan, Janice Leichin, Pam Goldstein Adelson. If you want to unmute and call out the names of anybody that you were saying Kaddish for tonight, this would be a good time. Or just
My father, George Katz.
George Katz.
Yes. My father, Norman Kresh.
My sister, Rosemary Karen Snyder.
May their memories be for a blessing. So please join me in saying Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, באמון אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעולם ויעמי עליה.
I think the feedback's sorry.
וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם, ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי קודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיים, חיים עלינו, על כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, על כל ישראל, על כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. And even when there's light surrounding us, sometimes we can still feel afraid. And this is a beautiful song to connect to those energies that surround us, those angels that are always there for us. B'Shem Adonai Elohei Yisrael Miyamini Michael Mismoli Gabriel Umilfanai Uriel Me'achorai Raphael last joyful Hanukkah song that I know you all know. And I'm going to put the words up, and Ms. Laura B. is going to sing it for us.
Sing together.
Yeah.
But, you know. Oh, gotta get the right note. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the horror. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and laughter to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Let's sing the Yiddish. Can't wait. Hanukkah, oi Hanukkah, Yom Tov Hashteiner, Listiger, Filiger, Nitoch Hazoiner, Haben nach dem Dreidel, spiel in mir, zu die Gäste, lag es in mir, Geschwinde, die Kinder, die Hanukkah Lichtlein on. Lass mir alle singen, lass mir alle springen, lass mir alle tanzen in Chor. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the horror. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Alan. Thank you all for being here. This was sweet.
Thank you, Ayala, and all your beautiful formatting and photos. I love the paintings. Thank you.
Oh,
And the stories.
thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
They were very beautiful. Truly.
Thank you, Alan. Your voice sounds great, and Laura, and Ayala. I love your interpretations, of the prayers and the blessings. They're wonderful. Wonderful.
Baruch Hashem, thanks to Rabbi David. In our Maggid program, that's a big part of it, is doing our own prayer interpretations, using the etymology of the Hebrew. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
To learn. Yeah.
I'm amazed, Laura, that you could do that on a phone. That's amazing.
I know, right?
I live in the mountains, so I just been having this internet service that decides like when it feels like doing internet, and so tonight I just had to put my phone on, and I lost it. It sounded good, and I just wanted to say this night was so beautiful, and just I needed just some reconnection with my Havra family. Also, just you have this renewal interpretations and the art and all of that for to feel like really connected to Hanukkah. And so thank you, Ayla, for inviting me. It's really just, I feel
All right. You will always be in our family, no matter where you are. Portland, Evergreen, Colorado.
Laura, it sounded great. It really sounded good. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I think you can make an ad for the phone, whatever phone you have. That's you need to do an ad for them. Anyway, good Shabbos, Yontif to everybody.
Shabbos, to everybody. And I just want to remind you that on Sunday night, hey Alan, good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
And on Sunday night, we have our Zot Hanukkah celebration with Achi Ben Shalom. If you don't know him, he is worth coming for. He has the most beautiful voice and a gorgeous collection of Hanukkah songs. And it's going to be a really fun evening. So
I just signed up for it, so everybody join us.
Great. It's $1, and you can come.
Or more.
Or more. And after Shabbos, go and donate to our match. We're getting there, but you know, I don't sleep much this month. So go and make your donations. I get a little more sleep.
After Shabbos, I'll make a donation.
Okay, the live video ended.
And Chair Kgw, it's not easy really to see when people transition off the streets into housing. People look and see all these people who are homeless. How many people have you been able to move into housing?
Well, since the Joint Office was founded, we have housed thousands of families and individuals. And yes, those are the people who you don't see, the people who are sleeping every night in their own bed with a roof over their heads. And their homelessness has in effect then ended. And that's why we are continuing to work to get more and more people off the streets and into housing that actually will end their homelessness. And as Mercedes talked about, we've spent a lot of efforts during the pandemic and still to this date with trying to get rent assistance to people to keep them in their homes so that we don't have even more people on the streets. And the millions of dollars that have been spent both at the state level and here locally around rent assistance, helping people stay in their homes, even during the pandemic when they couldn't afford to pay their rent. We don't see those folks on the streets, but they're still in their homes, which is a win. A big win.
Mercedes, help us understand what homeless services looks like and what it means to do the work out in the field.
There are multiple pieces to this. I like to think about it in three ways. There's homelessness as a physical state where someone is sleeping that night. That's the piece we're trying to resolve with housing. It's the conditions that led to someone experiencing homelessness. Well, might be a myriad of individual factors around trauma, abuse, illness, and those things all have to be done in a unique way to support that person in staying housed and also finding that long-term permanent stability. And then there are the structural factors at play that result in our community increasingly having new experiences of homelessness. Today, some number of people will be released from jail and hospital out into homelessness. The reason that it's some number is because we're not tracking that in a way that's systematic across our state, and we're not sharing that information as a goal of not doing that. And we need to have that larger commitment from all of our partners that we don't release people into homelessness. We don't exit people from any kind of program, any kind of institution, and let them sleep out on the street. And until we get to that point, we'll continue to see those new experiences. But in those housing programs, it's where the magic happens, where you have your peer support specialist, someone who's been there walking alongside folks who are experiencing stability for the first time. You're having the employment specialists who are telling people that if they want a job, they can have that job. If they want to go back to school, they can do that too. Where you have case managers who are helping people navigate what can oftentimes be a confusing system. It takes a community, right? This is a village. We're recreating the family dynamic in many ways to support people in that stability. And we're doing that both before someone gets that key to that front door and afterwards too.
Well, in spite of all the progress being made, all the work being done, and the shelter beds we mentioned, people see a lot of folks still on the street and a lot of unsanctioned camps really, all over the city. And one of the complaints the founders of People for Portland mentioned is they say a lot of Portlanders think that things are just taking too long. They criticize the emphasis placed on a long-term strategy and said it should be more urgent. Here's co-founder of People for Portland, Kevin Luper.
I helped pass the $2.5 billion homeless services measure through Metro, in which we promised that we were going to address the homeless crisis on the street. And the plans for that are all about a 10-year horizon, like I mentioned before. We don't have 10 years to reclaim the city that we love. We need to be doing things on a human scale, which means doing something to solve the problems tomorrow better than we did it today, and moving people off the street as fast as we possibly can. If this were a flood, if this was a natural disaster, we would have solutions for people.
Chair Kgw, what about what Looper said? Why aren't people being housed faster? What's your response?
So I would just like to say that I reject the premise that we're not moving quickly and that things aren't happening quickly. We have expanded our shelter system to be better, more welcoming, more opening. We've extended the number of shelter beds in our community greatly. And we are putting the money from that measure to work right now. In this year, we will put 1,300 households into permanent housing. In addition to the new shelter beds that we're opening and creating, in addition to the Safe Rest villages that we've been talking about, we are going to put 1,300 families into housing, permanent housing, which, as we've talked about, is actually going to end their housing and their homelessness. So we are moving quickly. I think it's very easy to say that things should be moving more quickly. I don't think any of us would deny it. We're all frustrated with what's happening in our community right now. We're frustrated that rents are so high. We're frustrated that people are sleeping out in the streets. And there are a lot of people who are working really hard to ensure that as many people as possible, as quickly as possible, get off the streets and into housing.
Kevin Looper ran your re-election campaign, Chair. What are your thoughts about him helping to start People for Portland and his criticisms?
Well, I'll just be honest. I mean, he was paid to run that campaign, the supportive services measure campaign, a couple of years ago, and he's getting paid to run this campaign right now. So he's a political consultant, and he'll go where the money is.
Let's talk about how part of the solution may also involve combating the Aries drug crisis. There's been a nationwide influx of a dangerous version of meth that results in a more extreme high. It's marked by a higher degree of psychosis. It's also made its way to Portland. And we talked to a few men in recovery who are employed by Central City Concern, where Mercedes works, who told us about the dangers of the drug and how much Central City Concern means to them in their recovery. Let's listen.
Like I said, it had me hearing people talking that wasn't even talking, but I could hear them in my head, and they were all cops. I sat in the park for 3 hours, afraid to move off a park bench. I thought as soon as I got up and started walking that they were going to get me.
3 weeks ago, I found an 8-ball of meth on the ground. 4 or 5 days ago, I found a 20 bag of heroin. I mean, it's here. We walk down the street and people shoot up. When I see somebody in distress, somebody that's having a hard time with being, addicted to drugs, being homeless, I tell them my story. I let them know, hey, I was just like you, because this company hires. This is a second chance company. They don't frown upon you being a drug addict or you being an ex-con or whatever. They give everybody a chance to get back into the workforce. That's why I love this company so much. I love my job.
Stacey and Mercedes, I want to talk to you about this a little bit. First, Stacey, how does drug addiction impact the work your outreach workers are trying to do?
I think substance use among people experiencing homelessness is significant and it's real. And I think people are struggling, and they are struggling with substance use, and they're struggling with mental health, and they're struggling with a lack of access to get the care that they need. And when I think about the role our outreach team plays at Transition Projects, but outreach teams across this community, whether it's Central City Concern or it's Join, I think about the opportunity for peers, just like the person in the from Central City talked about his experience and how he can bring that to folks that are sleeping outside that he's engaging with in his work, and provide a hand and provide a lifeline to someone who that might be the moment for them when they want to do something different and they're ready to engage, and someone's right there saying, I will walk by your side.
And Mercedes, I want to bring you in and let you respond too. And also, I wanted to ask you what your opinion is of the new behavioral health center that's underway. Construction's underway, and that new center is designed to help people struggling with mental health issues and homelessness. It's located at Southwest Park Avenue in Oak. What will having this new center mean to the work that you're doing?
Absolutely. I mean, any more resources we can get into the behavioral health sector right now are incredibly needed. We've seen record investments from the legislature in the last legislative session into the behavioral health sector. At the same time, though, we've also seen the closure of many residential programs across the state of Oregon. We have seen a lot of programs struggle to keep their workforce at the level needed to even provide their base level services, not even talking about expansion. So seeing new, both physical spaces being developed and new programs being developed and new funds coming into this system are absolutely critical to our ability to respond. I mean, I do wish that we could undo half a century of disinvestment in a matter of months, but we know it's going to take long-term collaboration and a long-term commitment. We can't do small moves. We have to do lots of big moves together. And I'm really excited about the opportunity to continue to see more partners having spaces where they can collaborate together to meet those needs of folks. We are definitely seeing a lot of need in the community, but I would be remiss if I didn't also remind us that the number one driver of substance use disorder in Oregon is still alcohol.
Well, thank you so much. Time for us to take a break right now, and it is clear there are a lot of people who need our help, and I know there are a lot of generous viewers who would like to know what they can do to help. We'll have ways that you can do that coming up in 2 minutes.
That's right, Toybot. The Kgw Great Toy Drive is going on now, and this Saturday we'll be at the Clackamas Promenade collecting toys for kids. Come out, donate, and make the holidays great for kids.
This is my first time trying on glasses at home. So cute! 5 different frames to Warby Parker.
Oh, this one's better.
Ooh. Hey. The virtual try-on is perfect. Like, they look like they're on my face. Like, look at this. Just swipe and switch. These are definitely a keeper. I think these are the one. Ooh, these look good. That was so easy. They make it so fun and fabulous.
Right now, AARP's work is more important than ever. We hear older Americans loud and clear, and that's why we fight for what they and their families need. Access to health care, affordable prescription drugs, opportunities to save for the future, ending age discrimination, a healthy, financially secure, fulfilling life. That's what AARP fights for, because that's what everyone deserves. Join us in fighting for what's right.
That's right, Toybot. The Kgw Great Toy Drive is going on now, and this Saturday we'll be at the Clackamas Promenade collecting toys for kids. Come out, donate, and make the holidays great for kids. That's right, Toybot. The Beyond Van Gogh exhibit at the Oregon Convention Center is helping collect toys for this year's toy drive. When you give a toy, they'll give you a free, limited edition poster. Please come out and give.
Outrage over the grandma and her 6-year-old granddaughter who were booted from their hotel room. Can you believe they were kicked out after leaving a bad review? Next, it's an edition.
Tonight at 7:30 on KGW.
Welcome back to Straight Talk. I'm Laurel Porter. We're talking about homelessness in the metro area, the progress being made to get people housed, and how you can help this holiday season. Welcome once again to my guests, Multnomah County Chair Deborah Kgw, Stacy Bort from Transition Projects, and Mercedes Elizalde from Central City Concern. Thank you again for being here on Straight Talk. And before we get back to our discussion on homelessness and how people can help, I did have a couple of questions for Chair Kgw. You aren't able to run again as Multnomah County Chair because of term limits, and a number of candidates have stepped forward, including some of your fellow commissioners. Are you endorsing anyone to be the next chair?
Not yet. I believe we have numerous very talented and able candidates, and since 3 of them are on my commission, trying to choose between them at this point would be both difficult and probably politically painful. So at this point, I'm not weighing in.
Do you think you might go closer to the election?
Sure. There's always a good chance of that, and especially after May, if because there's so many candidates, chances are that there will be 2 in a runoff, and depending on who those 2 are, it's very likely that I could get involved at that point.
And since you can't run for re-election, and you told us last time you were on Straight Talk you're not running for governor, what are your future plans?
That is $1 million question right there. I am really focused right now on this next year. As this segment is about, there are a lot of issues right now in our community that need my attention. The voters of Multnomah County voted me to serve in this role, and giving these very important issues, helping people get into housing. We're building a bunch of new libraries in our community. We've got a new courthouse that we still haven't had our grand opening for. And then, of course, preschool for all. Those dollars are going to come online, and we know that childcare and preschool are crucial for the future of our residents. So there's a lot of work to be done this next year, and that's what I'm going to be focused on.
You have a lot of work, and I know you've been working really hard, but can you give us any idea? I mean, are you going to take some time off? Do you think you'll run for office again? Can you give a range of ideas?
Well, I definitely am going to take a vacation that seems to be missing from my life. But you know, I've been in public service all my life. It's a family tradition, a long honored family tradition of ours. So I'm sure that whatever I'm going to be doing next will involve serving our community.
Well, let me bring Mercedes and Stacy back in. Let's talk about what you might have learned during the pandemic and how it might help you prepare for the future and your future response. Mercedes, what can you tell us?
Yeah, I would say two things. One, telehealth, and the other, making sure we have good economic investments in folks. So, you know, Central City Concern did not do telehealth before the pandemic, and in a matter of weeks, we stood up an entire program serving thousands of people every month, and we really hope to be able to maintain that flexibility going forward. We're engaging in advocacy at the federal and state level to ensure that. And then the other piece, we started taking a look at our internal data. You know, Central City has 3 core services: housing, healthcare, and employment. And what we found is that when someone is engaged in all 3 services, they're 7 times more likely to have a permanent housing placement and complete a treatment program. That employment piece is really critical to that long-term stability. And so we're really looking at how do we continue to encourage co-enrollment strategies, not just within Central City Concern, but within our community and the broader investments that we're making.
And Stacey, what have you learned at Transition Projects?
I think one of the most interesting things we've learned over the last couple of years during this pandemic is the opportunity that we've seen in our motel shelters that were opened as a response to serving people who are staying in congregate settings who have the highest risk for COVID or serious complications related to COVID. And partnering with Central City Concern, we operate an on-site health clinic at one of the motel shelters. And this program is infused with services, it's infused with housing, wellness supports, and an on-site health clinic that is helping people meet their immediate needs, figure out what's next, engage in other types of care, and transition into housing. And this step for many folks who have really complicated health issues, I think has proved to be one of the biggest indicators that when you bring services to people, you infuse programs with the necessary wraparound services, that people can and will transition to housing, and that housing will be stable.
We have just a couple of minutes left, but I did want to let people know some ways they can help. The holidays are upon us. People are in the giving spirit. Stacey, what are some of the ways people can help Transition Projects?
So there are many ways, certainly giving, which is something I think that we are all thinking about now and year-round. Transition Projects is one of a number of exceptional organizations featured in the Give Guide, so you can check us out there. The other opportunity is to volunteer time. Transition Projects is one of a couple providers that operate severe weather shelters. So when nights get really cold and really snowy and they become life-threatening for folks who are sleeping unsheltered, we open, in partnership with Multnomah County and the city of Portland, we open severe weather shelters to help people come inside. We need volunteers to help make that happen, and that's set up, it's operating the shelters, and it's closing down. That's a really great way to participate. And then also doing clothing drives and gear drives to help get those really critical items to folks who are sleeping unsheltered or in shelter today.
And if you check out their website, there are also prizes and incentives too. Mercedes, what are ways our viewers can help Central City Concern?
Yeah, we have two great campaigns
Hi.
going on right now.
No.
Our Recycling Reuse Operations Center, the ROC, is collecting donations of kitchen gear, utensils, plates, pots and pans, help somebody set up their apartment when they're first moving in. And then we also have the Holiday Wish program where you can support a family in making their holiday special. And you can find information on those on our website or on our Facebook page.
And we also have another website that includes many other ways that you can
I
donate
know,
this
right?
holiday season to places like Blanchet House, Impact Northwest, the Union Gospel Mission, all kinds of other organizations. It's a great way to make a difference. It's 211info.org/donations. I want to give Chair Kgw, Chair, we have a little over a minute, so I wanted to go back to you and
Rabbi
get some
Gary
final
brought
thoughts
me
from
some
you that you'd like to
latkes
share when people,
the
as I
other
mentioned
day.
at the top of the show, people look around, some of the people who are donating to people for Portland, and they see so many people that are unhoused. What do you want to tell them about what you're doing? What final message do you want to leave them with?
I would just want people to know that that I understand that people are frustrated. I think that we're all frustrated with what's happening, and we're now frustrated again because we hear that we might not be through this COVID nightmare. We've now got the Omicron variant out there. But I think I get up each morning and I'm filled with hope because I think that the supportive services measure that the voters were so smart to pass, even in the middle of COVID, is a game changer. We are going to be able to put 1,300 households into permanent housing this year. The measure is not about constructing new housing. People think this is a long-term plan. It's not a long-term plan. Constructing housing, which is crucial, takes years. This is about getting people into existing homes quickly, sometimes within a week.
Chair Kgw, thank you.
I wanted-
Stacey, thank you so much. And thank you for watching and listening. Remember, you can get Straight Talk as a podcast. Search for KGW Straight Talk wherever you get your podcasts. Join us next week. My guest is Portland City Commissioner Dan Ryan. We'll see you next week for Straight Talk.
There were lemon curd sufganiyot at Hanukkah party tonight, but it was outside, and it's like 30-something degrees, and it would be 2 buses, and
I'm James with Banner Furniture.
I couldn't go,
It's our 40th anniversary.
and so I'm not happy about that, but I watched with Hanukkah music on for two different synagogues, and I was live streaming it, the audio.
2027.
But thank you, Sue. Right now, I'm debating taking the natural antidepressant for the lack of light or eating something because I'm starting to feel like
Not to honk our own horns, but the best new cars make the best used cars.
if I take the SAMe and have to wait another hour to eat, maybe I need to eat something now and put on the coat that I just bought. I didn't have a winter coat and it got delivered yesterday. And
Let's go places.
anyway, I don't know if you're still there or not because all I know is that I'm like I got a Christmas University pendant in the mail today from christmasisnotcanceled.com.
Profiles behind the scenes. The new world of sports.
Sports Sunday with Orlando Sanchez.
The Beth Israel service has a replay on their website. And the Havurah service has a replay on Facebook. Havurah Ashland. Inside Edition?
Mystery over the
Yeah, where the hell are they?
The school shooter's parents.
Today I'm announcing charges against the shooter's parents.
If they think they're going to get away, not. Then, Alec, Baldwin, backlash.
Someone is responsible.
Okay, thanks.
For what happened, but I know it's not me.
They said they had 4 heaters, but
Mr. Baldwin is not taking responsibility.
And dragged down the highway. There's a teen wedged under the truck. She's waving frantically. Plus, Lara Logan versus Dr. Fauci.
He represents Joseph Mengele.
that's such fucking bullshit!
Disgusting. Then, today's news, President Biden. He can't stop coughing. That's a little different. Are you okay? And the grandma and her 6-year-old
Sorry about that.
booted from their hotel room.
Can you believe they kicked
Oh, okay.
after writing a bad review?
Told to take a hike while in their PJs. And
That was so good.
waves for the new Annie.
there's that anyway.
Now,
What?
Inside Edition with Deborah Norville.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us. High drama regarding the deadly high school shooting in Michigan, just moments after it was announced that the parents of the accused shooter were being charged with involuntary manslaughter, came the bombshell report
that they're gone.
Authorities had no idea where the parents were, and they were no-shows for their scheduled arraignment. Anne Mercogliano reports.
Mystery surrounds the whereabouts of the parents of the accused school shooter.
Yeah, but
after
Inside
being
Edition is
charged with
national.
Involuntary manslaughter. Sheriff Michael Bouchard revealed the stunning development on CNN, saying they are considered fugitives.
We sent detectives out and got a call from the lawyer for the couple saying they're not returning her calls or texts. So,
oh yeah,
if they think they're going to get away, they're not.
So the Crumblies are missing now?
Correct.
Have you searched their house?
Oh, we have, a host of detectives out, including our partners with the FBI and the U.S. Marshal Service. If they think they're going to run, we're going to remedy that.
Police issued these photos of
good
James
luck with
and
that.
Deborah Crumbly and an image of the Kia SUV they are apparently driving. But their lawyers said they left town for their own safety and are not fleeing law enforcement, and were on their way back to Oxford, Michigan to face arraignment tonight. The couple allegedly fled following the announcement of the charges by prosecutor Karen McDonald, who revealed the gun used in the shooting was bought for 15-year-old Ethan Crumbly as an early Christmas gift.
One of Jennifer Crumbly's social media posts on about 11/27/21 read, quote, "Mom and Sunday testing out his new Christmas present," end quote.
She said the parents were called to the school after a teacher found a chilling note on Crumbly's desk. It showed a drawing of a gun with the words, "The thoughts won't stop. Help me. Blood everywhere. My life is useless and the world is dead."
The notion that a parent could read those words and also know that their son had access to a deadly weapon that they gave him is unconscionable, and I think it's criminal. It is criminal.
During the meeting at school, prosecutors say 15-year-old Ethan actually had his gun in his backpack. His parents were given 48 hours to get him counseling, and he was allowed to return to class. Apparently, no one thought to ask him if he had his gun. Just hours later, he launched his shooting spree.
Of course he shouldn't have gone back to that classroom. Of course he shouldn't have.
She says after the shooting began, Crumbly's mother texted him, "Ethan, don't do it." His father also suspected it was Ethan. He called police after the shooting, saying he believed his son was responsible.
The 9mm handgun purchased by James Crumbly was stored unlocked in a drawer in James and Jennifer's bedroom.
Court TV's Ashley Wilcott.
This is a huge deal. In fact, I couldn't believe it when someone said to me, breaking news, the parents are being charged. And here's why. Because it's never happened before that I know of in a case of a school shooting. Funeral arrangements have now been announced for 3 of the 4 victims. The first will be held on Saturday. There is a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking on Alec Baldwin's decision to grant that interview about the tragic fatal shooting on the set of his movie. The police investigation is still not complete, but as Stephen Fabian reports, Baldwin says he just felt he had to share his story and his view that he's not responsible for the tragedy.
There's mixed reaction today to the blockbuster Alec Baldwin interview.
Someone is responsible for what happened, and I can't say who that is.
Yeah, a lot of people have lost their minds.
Sympathy, you can see just how broken he is, but also condemnation.
Mr. Baldwin is not taking responsibility.
Alec Baldwin blames the victim in sickening interview.
Can you hear
declares
it?
The New York Post. Baldwin says he was merely following cinematographer Helena Hutchins' directions moments before the gun discharged, accidentally killing her.
Everything is in her direction. She's guiding me through how she wants me to hold the gun for this angle. And I draw the gun out, and I find a mark, I draw the gun out, I put a cut.
Baldwin gave a detailed explanation of how the gun went off. He says without him pulling the trigger.
So you have this Colt 45, you just pulled the hammer as far back as I go without cocking the actual. And you're holding onto the hammer. I'm just showing. I go, how about that? Does that work? Do you see that? Do you see that? She goes, yeah,
they didn't take. Okay.
Bang, the gun goes.
They didn't take him out of school when they were asked.
Dutch Merrick.
They sold Western guns that go back 150 years.
Yours has
I don't know that they were asked to take him out of school.
hammer. So if you pull it back halfway, it should stay there. So it's a curiosity to me. Is the gun malfunctioning, or did he not pull it back past that point?
Firearm safety expert Steve Wolf also gave Inside Edition his reaction.
Is it possible that the parts could have worn out, that there was something defective inside the gun? That's a possibility.
Baldwin had a frosty reaction to a comment by actor George Clooney.
Every single time I'm handed a gun on a set, I look at it, I open it, I show it to the person I'm pointing it to, we show it to the crew. Everyone does it. Everybody knows it.
There were a lot of people who felt it necessary to contribute some comment to the situation, which really didn't help the situation.
Okay, I didn't hear that yet.
At all. You have your protocols, you're checking the gun every time. Well, good for you. Good for you.
Baldwin was also scornful of former President Trump, who he regularly spoofed on Saturday Night Live.
So much to talk about. I'm
going to drink some of my coffee.
The former president of the United
Need
States.
to heat some of this up. It's cold in here.
Wacko or whatever, and I probably shot her and killed her on
It's
and I thought to myself,
67 degrees.
Just when you think that the things can't get more surreal, here's the former president of the United States making a comment on this tragic situation.
The actor revealed that he was calling his wife Hilaria in that famous photo taken shortly after the fatal shooting.
After the interview aired, the Santa Fe district attorney sent us a statement saying she still has not made any decision about who will be charged or not charged.
Yeah.
Now, terrifying video of a car being dragged down the highway by a semi-truck. Inside the car is a 19-year-old teen. You can actually see her waving out the window, trying to alert other motorists.
What the heck?
Unreal. Look closely. There's a car.
The car's under the
barreling down the highway.
Gee whiz.
The truck driver apparently has no idea he's dragging the car sideways. The young motorist in the car is just 19 and she is desperate. You can see
Did
her
she get hurt?
waving her arms for help. The tape ends before the truck comes to a halt, and the driver is rescued. Miraculously, she was not injured. The
That's
driver
amazing.
of the Honda Accord has been identified as Lalisha Gardner of Evanston, Illinois. It happened on Interstate 295 outside Chicago.
Jeez.
Wow, what a lucky lady. The truck dragged her for more than half a mile. It was a shocking comment from a once respected journalist about Dr. Anthony Fauci. Former 60 Minutes correspondent Lara Logan comparing the nation's top virologist to Josef Mengele, the Nazi butcher known as the Angel of Death. Dr. Fauci says he's disgusted by it.
I am too.
Dr. Fauci is responding today to a shocking insult from Fox News personality Lara Logan.
It's unconscionable what she said.
She compared him to the brutal, notorious Nazi war criminal Dr. Josef Mengele, known as the Angel of Death.
He doesn't represent science to them. He represents Josef Mengele. Dr. Josef Mengele, the Nazi doctor who did experiments on Jews during the Second World War.
Absolutely preposterous and disgusting comparison.
Appearing on MSNBC last night, Fauci says he wants steps taken against Logan.
How she gets no discipline whatsoever from the Fox network, how they can let her say that with no comment and no disciplinary action. I'm astounded by that.
Jimmy Kimmel was stunned by the comparison.
That is just so outrageous, Joseph Mengele.
Meanwhile, the Omicron variant is spreading.
The strain has already been detected in at least 5 states.
Health experts say Omicron
Nebraska.
is a lot more contagious than Delta and the other variants, and it's expected to impact holiday travel. As
Yes,
many
you should.
Americans are now rethinking their plans.
If you have travel plans in, say, 2 months, 3 months, hold tight. It's not time to cancel. Things could pass by. Things could be okay.
A COVID outbreak.
That was
hit
another
last
reason.
night's NFL game hard. The Cowboys were missing 6 players
To
and
not
3
go
coaches,
on-
including the head coach, all sidelined by COVID.
I haven't gotten a booster yet because I had to cancel my appointment because I had a low-grade fever, and now it's hard to get one.
President Biden held a press conference today in which he talked about the latest
But there are
jobs
some
numbers
walk-in
in America.
places.
And many people were struck by his coughing and how rumbly his voice sounded.
He's been
The
coughing
president
for
was quick to
months.
Point out it's not COVID. He's just got a cold.
What's going on with the president?
Since the end of October,
At today's White House briefing, he coughs repeatedly.
to take care of
He also keeps clearing his throat.
the two busiest ports in America.
When he finished, there was a flurry of reaction from reporters.
First of all, Mr. President, your voice sounds a little different. Are you okay?
What I have is a 1.5-year-old grandson who had a cold who likes to kiss his pop. And he's been kissing him anyway, so, but it's just a cold.
The little guy who gave the president a cold is Hunter Biden's toddler, Beau, who visited the White House Monday. The White House today released this letter from the president's doctor, noting he has what's known as a frog in one's throat, and says the president's been tested for COVID 3 times this week. All of these tests were negative. The president's health has been the subject of a lot of speculation. 2 weeks ago, following his annual physical at Walter Reed, doctors determined his frequent throat clearing was apparently due to gastroesophageal reflux. Last night, the president and first lady were out in chilly 45-degree weather for the lighting of the national Christmas tree.
Everybody ready?
Yeah, who wants to go to a 3-hour party when it's like 30-something degrees?
And it's a charming little town in the Georgia mountains, built to resemble an alpine village. But when a lady and her granddaughter had a less than charming experience at their hotel, Grandma hosted a review. And as
Wait, that was Joe Biden for the lighting?
This grandmom and her granddaughter were kicked out of their hotel room in their pajamas after giving a bad review on the website Hotels.com. Dr. Susan Lachey checked into the Baymont Hotel in Helen, Georgia, which transforms into a popular Christmas village during the holiday season. It was supposed to be a 3-night stay. Susan and her 6-year-old granddaughter were settling in for the night when Susan got an email asking her to rate the hotel, which she had booked through Hotels.com.
I gave them a 3 out of 5. And I think that's very generous.
Then she added these comments. The pool wasn't open. The toilet is not flushing. The sink is dripping. Within minutes, she says she got a call from the furious hotel manager.
You know, like the room, you get out now. I called the police.
I told them, ma'am, we are going to refund your money because I know that you didn't like the room and you reviewed us.
What are you thinking then?
Well, I thought it was a prank.
But this was no prank. Police showed up, banging on the door.
He's
The White House
talking to
Christmas tree?
somebody on his shoulder. It's like, yeah, it's a grandma. I just asked him, is this real? He said, yeah, yes, it's the law. Yes, it's ridiculous. But yes, it's within this person's rights to kick me out. And we're literally in our pajamas.
Susan got a refund but says she didn't get an apology from the hotel. Hotels.com says it has temporarily removed the Baymont Hotel from its website as it investigates what happened.
I didn't know that they could kick you out like that.
You should wait till you leave
Inn and Suites
to review
they
it.
declined to comment.
Next, how to save money heating your home this winter.
The simple tricks that really work.
You know, the guy that, like, kept driving around and couldn't find my apartment, even though I don't, you know, give people the benefit of the doubt during the pandemic. Like I know people have trouble finding my apartment, but, like, I was on the phone and he still kept driving around and couldn't find it and had to ask one of my neighbors. And, but I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt during the pandemic and, like, just, like, not cost them their job. So I just put a check, I put a check for that it was, like, fine service, because, like, I didn't give him any, like, rave reviews, but I did give him, like, that it was, like, because I don't need to, like, it's a pandemic, and yeah, I was on a Zoom call, and I had to call him and try to help him, because if you don't call back within 8 minutes, they'll cancel your Uber Eats order, and I didn't get to hear the end of the Zoom call, and I was already having, like, I only got an hour and a half sleep, but I don't need to cost someone their job during the pandemic unless they really did something, like, so, anyway, thanks. If all that was wrong, I would have given them 1 star after they leave. Oh, the hotel? She gave them 3 stars, but, like, this, yeah, This guy, like, I still gave him 5 stars, but I didn't give him, like, where they say, like, like the choices for excellent service. I didn't give him any of those things, but I did give him 5 stars because I'm trying to be a person that gives people the benefit of the doubt. I need to, like, mute you for a second so that I can go and get my sushi from the other room and my coat. Hold on, I'll be right back. Wait. I unmuted. Let me just mute this for 1 second. Alright.
Already dreading their heating bills. Natural gas, which about half the country uses for heat, is twice as much this year as it was last year, and oil is up too. Amber Cagliano with some ideas that might save you some money.
As temperatures drop, there are ways to save money on heating bills with just a few simple tricks.
Did you know 10% of your home's heat can be lost through the ground?
No.
So hard surfaces you want to cover with a rug. It's that easy.
Home improvement expert
Rugs aren't good for allergies, though.
It acts as a simple barrier.
Best allergies.
That'll keep the heat inside your home and save money on your energy bills.
Emery recommends buying an infrared heat gun to help locate where the cold air may be getting in. We tested this room when we first arrived. 62 degrees.
It's freaking cold in here.
Emery's next tip, close your blinds.
Okay, good talking to you too. I turned the heat down last night. I shouldn't have done that.
Bonus? Add some thermal curtains. Think about this as like a blanket for your window.
10 minutes later, the room warmed all the way up to 66 degrees. Now to the utility room, where Emery says change your heating filter.
Have you ever changed your HVAC filter?
No.
Okay, don't be intimidated. Just look for a panel on the side or the bottom, like we have right here. You'll take it off. It's as simple as, you want to pull it out? It's as simple as pulling it out. And here you go. Want to put this one back in?
How is it? Is it dirty?
Well, I'm going to turn the heat back up and put on my coat.
This filter. I'm glad we did this.
How does that cut down costs?
Think about all the air needing to pump through.
It's 60.
All that grime.
I need to.
The air is not flowing as efficiently.
I need to use my humidifier.
And it just goes right through, so the machine's working less.
Humidified air feels warmer.
Another easy
It's 67 with
wrap your water heater.
23% humidity is too low. It should be 40 to 50.
Cut them to the size of your pipe and simply wrap them on.
It takes no time. Easy steps you can take to keep you warm and save money this winter.
And people in Hawaii might actually need these tips because a blizzard warning is
I turned the
in effect on
heat
Big
down
Island
2 degrees.
Sunday.
I shouldn't have done that.
12 inches of snow, or possibly more, are expected. And when we come back, raves for
Did you
Annie
see
Lott,
Annie? She
especially
was
for
so
the
good.
adorable young star.
Okay, good night.
Your skin. If Dupixent has your moderate to severe
Yeah,
eczema
it does
or
make a
atopic
difference.
dermatitis under control.
Hide my skin?
Yeah, good night, Sue. I am gonna actually get up on this commercial and go.
Step ahead of eczema.
That's weird. Is it because I have it open in 2 tabs that I see the comments in the other tab? I had to open another tab to see how many viewers. Right, I'm muting this just so I can go get that sushi. Vegetarian sushi.
Don't use if you're
Your bake brush off the face.
We've made for you black bottom pecan pie bites.
This is the second pecan pie that I had today. And I tell you, it's really good. I like that crust too.
Thank you.
You can even look and see how flaky and buttery it is, and that's really good.
I could use a little more pecans on this one, yeah. But then that's me. I'm a pecan person.
Thank you. Thank you.
Andy, how did you celebrate growing up?
Oh, I don't know, stunts, the roundhouse kicks, front flips, that kind of stuff.
Like the holidays. How did you celebrate the holidays?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't know.
Bobby Norma, which team made you proud like a grandchild going to med school? One of the teams executed a vision that was really extraordinary. Congratulations, Steve and Tom. Steve and Tom, your expression of a menorah was amazing. We just really were overwhelmed. overwhelmed by your creativity and how well you executed your visions.
Even Tom, come get your brooch.
Gentlemen, with much pride, you guys.
Happy about that. Never thought that would happen.
Congratulations.
I'm an old man. I didn't think I could win anything anymore. Bakers, we got a taste of your holiday traditions, but now we want to learn something surprising about you.
In today's Pie in the Sky challenge, we're asking you to perform a miracle.
You want the outside to represent one teammate and the inside of your bake to reveal something about the other.
Yeah, I want a cake that makes me go, what? And then, mmm.
So, let's get baking!
Again, great catchphrase.
Right?
Unbelievable.
Money well spent.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We have to do the carrot cake, right?
The carrot cake?
Yes. Don't forget to drain those cherries.
Nope, I'm on it right now.
Cool. I'll start with the syrup first.
Hello, you guys. Hi. Is this a good time?
Oh, yeah, this is absolutely
everything is totally organized. Yes.
What are you making?
We are making a 7-spice reveal cake. Half my family goes to the movies on Christmas, and so I'm packing the cake with all the candies that I would bring to the movies on Christmas.
So what does the outside of the cake represent?
So the sponge is incorporating 7 spices, so it's reflecting my family. I'm the youngest of 7 kids.
Wow.
So we have a collection of allspice, we have cinnamon, we have cloves, we have ginger, a lot of reds in the family, so...
Sorry, they're doing some demo.
You know, the scene stealers.
Keep it going!
I'm working here!
Attention hog, right here.
Let the grandmas back
Trying to get some heartwarming quiz! Sorry about that. Every time we walk out on that floor, it's like chaos.
Chaos City, USA.
What state is that in?
It's in the state of,
Emergency. Yeah!
This year, take the time to melt into your holiday moments with Lindor. Irresistibly smooth chocolate from the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
Shop Target deals all weekend. Save 10% on Target gift cards in stores and online. This Saturday and Sunday only. Just get your offer with Target Circle, only at Target.
If your dry eye symptoms keep coming back, over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating the eyes and may provide temporary relief. Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease. It can provide lasting relief. Xiidra is the only FDA-approved non-steroid eye drop specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. One drop in each eye twice a day. Don't use it if you are allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes before reinserting contacts. This holiday, ask your doctor about Xiidra.
They're out there. Words yet to be written. Stories yet to be told. But here's the thing with ideas. To find them, you have to move. That's why we're building a new generation of electrified vehicles. All designed to inspire something in you.
Target, shopping has never been easier. Use same-day delivery, free order pickup, or free drive-up, and leave with your holidays in the bag. Order today, get it today at Target.
Hey, you brought some brats, huh? What if the store took back all the brats you didn't eat at the end of the month the way some wireless companies take back your data? That would be weird. TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data, so if you pay for brats, you get to keep your brats. You also get unlimited talk and text on America's best 4G LTE networks for $20, no contract. Wow, that's great. Yeah, hit decline. I don't want to talk to her. Hit me, get me. This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control.
It's the People's Choice Awards, hosted by me, Keenan Thompson. Check it out. With performances from your favorite artists and huge icon award winners. The People's Choice Awards, Tuesday on NBC and E! And the red carpet starts first, live from E!
You almost done with your batter?
Getting close.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
How you doing? Good.
How are y'all doing?
What are you making?
So I grew up in Germany up until about 10 in a region just outside the Black Forest. So we're doing a Black Forest cake. Okay. We're also going to incorporate some of my grandmother's cookies. So when I was growing up, my mom and grandmother made sometimes thousands of cookies for Christmas.
Oh, my goodness.
For me, Christmas is about family and getting together and just having a good time.
What are you guys making?
So the outside of the cake is Joelle. Yeah. The outside of the cake is a Winter Wonderland Christmas tree. I love a white Christmas.
Okay.
Inside is me. The inside is a beach theme. So we have a strawberry cake. We have some graham cracker that's going to be sand. We have some candied fish and blue sprinkles for the ocean.
Baking during the holidays definitely brings folks together. I think people just look forward to that time and the joy that they see on each other's faces when they open that tin or that box
For sure.
of goodies.
These are going to be little peppermint bark snowman macarons to live inside a little gingerbread chocolate house. Yeah, s'mores bark house.
Okay.
I think that the phrase, if you bake it, they will come, is such a true, authentic statement.
So that's what I need to do when my kids want to make s'mores? Just
Yeah.
roast them like
Oh my
that?
gosh. Or you can put them in the oven under the broiler.
That looks way more fun.
You don't have, oh yeah, it's so fun.
I always say the last ingredient is always loved, because I think that it's just special when it's baked with love.
Let me look at my cakes. They're getting close.
How did it feel to win the first challenge?
Oh, you know, it was pretty fun. It was really unexpected.
There was a lot of good stuff.
There was.
Oh my God. What are you guys making today?
This is called the Blackout Cake.
Oh my.
This cake has buttercream, ganache, chocolate cake, and peppermint. So you cut into it, and the tube will be filled with candy canes.
Oh, come on.
And then the meringue goes around the candy cane tube, and it oozes all out.
So who's the outside and who's the inside?
The outside is my dad because he holds the whole thing together. He's like, he's the big bear hug. And then the inside of this specific cake is me because I'm surprised.
Are you a surprise?
Yeah, zany, a little zany.
Oh, you meant like an unexpected baby.
That's what I meant.
That was a kind of a surprise.
Sometimes the stork just flies on over and drops it down the chimney, am I right?
These are the dough balls. We are going to fry.
What are you guys making?
We're making my favorite dessert.
Oh.
It's a
gulab jamun. Those are traditional Indian desserts which are served normally in Indian weddings, gatherings, restaurants. Those are like dough balls dipped in sugar syrup with rose, cardamom.
Yep. And then we're having a mold outside which is rose shaped.
And made of white chocolate.
That sounds beautiful.
Since it's her favorite dessert when she was growing up, her idea of a piñata cake, instead of candies, she wanted like gulab jamuns. Hammer. So that's the whole idea here.
It's actually my mom's recipe. So my mom taught me how to make gulab jamuns. Growing up, we had so many things that my mom used to make. She loves to bake. She has a lot of innovative ideas always in her mind. If I fail in this, I hope not.
You won't.
There's no failing here.
Okay.
Only winning and sort of winning less.
Okay.
When do we get to play eardrums on the show?
Right now. Did we get that? Is it in the can?
Everybody stand up straight.
Okay, now let me flip it.
It's everything I wished for.
I told you she'd love her new 5G phone from Cricket. I see that. It's everything you wished for, including the price.
Hey Cover Girls! Remember that? I was a Cover Girl in 1998 and today I'm a Cover Girl. Thanks to Simply Ageless, America's #1 foundation with anti-aging ingredients for instant wrinkle reduction. Once a Cover Girl, always a Cover Girl. Simply Ageless from Cover Girl.
Come alive for me. Come alive for me. Come alive for me. Come alive for me.
Edward's Black Friday sale starts now. Beat the crowds and save up to $500 on in-stock brands like Tempur-Pedic. Plus, pay no interest for up to 5 years. It's never too early for doorbuster deals on the best mattress brands. Be BedSmart. Shop BedSmart.
Hi, I'm Ian Dawson, a Kaiser Permanente Medicare specialist here in Oregon and Southwest Washington. My mission is to make sure you get high-quality, affordable Medicare health coverage.
That's why Kaiser Permanente Medicare health plans have 0 monthly premiums, 0 doctor office copays, and self-referred alternative care.
And you also get the convenience of hospital care, medical services, and prescription drug coverage all in one plan. Plus your choice of hundreds of available Kaiser Permanente doctors, including specialists. I'm also proud to tell you that here in Oregon and Southwest Washington, Kaiser Permanente's Medicare health plan has been rated 5 out of 5 stars. That's Medicare's highest possible rating. Call now and let me and my team help you get the affordable, high-quality Medicare health plan you need.
Call 1-877-818-9571 or go to kp.org/local now.
We're giving away thousands in Christmas cash at Spirit Mountain Casino during our drawings in November and December. And winners, each drawing will select a nutcracker to reveal how much cash they've won. Holidays are on us with Christmas cash at Spirit Mountain Casino.
Employees' cars.
You can do whatever you want to something on your property.
Legally speaking, that's not.
Let's go make a car.
What are you doing to my car?
Stealing your cabs. It's fine. I'm the new CEO.
American Auto. Special preview December 13th on NBC.
Welcome to baking.
I'm not going to go so far as to say we were born for this.
I could not be left alone with this cake because I know what I do with king cake. We don't. What? You?
Caesar, these look like candy canes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you guys making?
We're gonna do a bucket of popcorn on the outside, but it's carrot cake. And then we're gonna decorate it with some candy canes.
Ah, I love that.
If it goes according to plan.
Who's the popcorn? Who's the carrot cake?
Who's the carrot?
Carrot cake's me. I love carrot cake. Popcorn is her.
Why popcorn, Reggie?
I can crush a Costco-sized bag popcorn into
Yeah.
this.
Love it.
Should we talk about how that went while we're still standing here, or should we walk away?
No, I think we should stay right here.
Okay.
How do you think that
Why
went?
does it say go live?
So nice.
They are so nice. And
Yes,
I
I
think
am
they
live.
like us.
I love you guys.
I also don't find that we were distracting to them at all. Like, they were able to keep baking.
I'm not distracted at all right now.
We're gonna get real cute here.
This is the fun part.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
What are you making?
We're making a 4-layer cake. The outside's gonna be me. I love music. I play a lot of instruments and stuff like that. So that's one of my passions. The inside is gonna represent Sean.
So the inside represents me, and I'm a big sports buff.
Bye.
And recently I took up the sport of golf. You take out a golf club, it's all you. You're in the zone. You're really playing against yourself. It's awesome. It's a great game.
Oh.
We're best friends. We've known each other since 6th grade.
End
so
stream.
We pretty much like all the same stuff. But Sean, in his later years,